what to do because you're having like a moment.
Have I really messed up my life? Like, I just really feel like I've messed up my life. You may not think that, but I really do feel like a lot of the trauma I went through really screwed me for life. And now there's really nothing I can do about it.
Fill the room with the juice. That's a lot of loot. That bit fire. Yeah, she kinda cute.
Welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, hello, my name is Pearl. And obviously, if you're not brand new here, hello. I just got back from the restaurant. Well, a restaurant. Well, I was at the bar, so technically I was at a bar. Had a little beer, had some short rib pasta, whatever have you. But let me tell you something, you guys. I was in such a great mood today. Oh my, I was in such a great mood today. But of course, I said, oh, let's bring other people into it. Let's give humans a chance. What an idiot I am. What an idiot I am. You know, I really need to understand that. Sometimes I just can't handle other people's energies. I just can't. And it bothers me. It ruins my energy. It brings me down. And it just annoys me like, oh, like no other, you guys. Like, honestly, the way I feel about heterosexual men right now, they all need to stay away from me. They all need to just stay away from me because I don't think there are any good ones right now. Okay, and I'm saying right now because I'm trying to stay positive. Hopefully tomorrow I will have a different energy about that, but for now, do not like heterosexual men. I don't like them. They are very freaking terrible. They're just terrible people. Like, oh my God. Let me be quiet. Anyways, if you are a heterosexual man and you're watching me right now, I am sorry. Okay, maybe one day, hopefully tomorrow, I will feel differently. Anywho's, so I'm at the restaurant, I'm eating whatever, and I come across this video that is on the Frenemies Reloaded channel. And it says the Trisha Paytas and Hila Klein feud. And honestly, listen, I still don't really know why Trisha doesn't like her. Like, I really don't. I mean, other than she was pregnant, I think. Okay, she was pregnant. What else? I really don't understand the whole arguments and hate that she has towards her. I actually really don't know. So let's go ahead and hop into this video. It's about 23 minutes long, so definitely go get you a snack. I have 2 bags of Doritos right here, juice, and water. I don't know if I'm gonna be eating though, because I'm just really in a, I can fit a size 0 now. Oh my God, you guys, I really lost 20 pounds. And honestly, just looking back at the 75 hard challenge and just going from like a size, what was it, 5, I think? Yeah, a size 5 to now back to my 0. I cannot believe I did it. Now I'm at a place of thinking, anyone can do this. Anybody can do this. All you have to do is just set your mind to it, put some discipline in there, and don't date. There you go, don't date. Don't even bring other people into your energy. Just focus on you and nobody else. Because honestly, I was at so much peace. I was just so peaceful in the beginning of this month. And now I am just annoyed, bitter, angry. Ugh. I hate men. Let's go ahead and get into this Frenemies episode. Lord knows I'm sounding like a feminist right now, and we don't need that. So let's see exactly why Trisha freaking Paytas really hates this woman. I want to understand. I really don't get it, honestly.
I don't know what to do because you're having like a moment.
Not a moment.
I'm like, honestly, you can just move on from it. But like, I just hate people who think they're just too fucking good for shit.
It's not she's too good.
She has a fucking podcast. When you have a podcast, you're talked about. Your life's talked about. You guys talk about Moses.
Dude,
well before we did this podcast, you guys talked about us. Never once asked me anything.
No, it's because you always make the same comment about her.
She literally looks so mad right now. Not the heartbeat. Not the disclaimer. Do not send any hate to anyone.
Okay, you know what? Leave it in.
No.
Every time
don't.
You go, why does Hila hate me? And she's like, I don't hate her. It's super annoying. Why does she keep saying that?
And
it's causing.
Text me? Like, just
text
me.
you.
Be like, hey, I don't hate you. You know what I mean? Like, but when she's like telling stuff about Moses.
Because I always say, yeah, we should cut this. Let's just move on.
No, but like in general, like I'm telling you now, like she needs to text me and just be like, hey, I don't hate you, you know? But it's like she's telling Moses, like, oh, she says this and that.
Okay,
like,
this is all off the record, but I think she's just really annoyed by the situation and she just needs some time.
What's the situation that I?
Not anything to do with you, with Moses.
What'd he do?
he is always. Honestly, it has nothing to do with you.
Okay,
and I don't want to get in the middle of it.
So
but it's between him and her.
But she literally brought me up because I was like, we were watching TikTok and I saw the thing being like at 1 a.m. in the morning. She was like, "What are you telling Trisha? Like, why is she saying this stuff on the podcast? Like all this stuff."
Oh,
like,
yeah, because she was irritated because you were like, "I'm not inviting mom," and she was like, "Dude, why? Like, my mom doesn't need to see that." And I know, but then but it's like, Moses, why are you telling her that you're not close to us and that you're not close to your mom and you're not inviting your mom
but
to the
you guys
wedding?
talked about Moses on the podcast well before we started this one.
But it's not true.
And he's not public. You guys were talking about him and shit.
So here it is. She's going all the way back to when she first started dating Moses, or they were hooking up, and Ethan and Hila were talking about it on the podcast. Oh, he wasn't a public figure, and you guys were talking about it. Cry Me a River.
Not Cry Me a River. Now you know she will reenact that music video. You guys gotta stop giving her those little tidbits. You know she's gonna do it. Try and be Britney Spears and Justin all in one.
Next day, the internet comes back up. We open our phones, open Twitter, and this is what we see.
Nobody message us. Your brother,
Nothing.
first of all. I have to tell you that I don't know what he's up to.
Right.
And
I don't know
this
anything.
isn't some inside joke. Like,
No.
look at the way he's looking at. So this is what Trisha posted. Look at his face. What is he doing? It's like he's goofing on us.
I said the same thing.
Well, obviously, I immediately go to Moses and I'm like, dude, what the F is this? And he's so cryptic. Now, all of a sudden, he's not telling me what's up.
Yeah.
He's being super cryptic. And, like, he goes, oh, yeah, we hung out a few times. And I go, and I keep pressing, and he will not give it up. So both of these people promised me to keep it 100 billion with me.
Yes, they promised.
Like, I'm most disappointed in your brother. Trisha, whatever. We serve at her pleasure. I mean, you don't know which personality is showing up on which day. I'm just happy when she comes in. So what exactly is he playing to?
So pretty.
Also, I don't think that Trisha, she's not conniving. She just wants to fuck Moses. So is Moses playing Trisha and us?
Mm-hmm.
In some weird... What's he trying to get at? I think he likes her and he won't admit it.
Maybe.
I think your brother actually likes her and he's embarrassed to admit it. Which is fine. By the way, I was like, look, actually,
I don't know why he's embarrassed, if that's the case.
Girl.
Well, if they are dating or whatever, she's going to be pissed when she watches this, so the truth is going to come out. Because she'd be like, Moses, why are you embarrassed? Why didn't you tell them that we're dating? And so now Moses is about to meet one of her nasty personalities they didn't get yet. I will sabotage this relationship. I don't give a fuck. Because you both fucked us. I don't give a shit right now. Trisha and Moses, Hila's brother, and Trisha Paytas, the saga continues.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to have to get them on a call because this whole thing is just, it's irritating.
Weird.
And your brother, I have to say, he's so unforthcoming with us that it's irking me. It really is irking me. Because he always goes, oh, it was just, it was the quarantine and my place got broken into and I didn't have anyone to stay with. And I was like, okay.
Honestly, I feel like a lot of people was going through that quarantine and was just like, you know what? Let's have a baby. Let's have sex. Why not? I mean, we may die from COVID next year. Like, I feel like a lot of people did that. And I don't really understand why, to be honest with you. Honestly, I did it too. I went back to my ex. And I shouldn't have. That was what? December 2020? Yeah, a year ago. Yeah, I went back to my ex. Lord knows that night should not have happened. Oh, my Lord.
But I know your brother's not like that. Your brother's like self-sufficient. He's not like, oh, can I stay with you? My place got broken into.
Right.
He can stay with us.
Yeah.
You wanted to fuck Trisha. He won't just admit that. He won't just tell me that he wants to fuck Trisha or that he likes her. And then he goes, it's over. And it's not even that I'm upset that they're together. I just want him to tell me what's happening.
Because first of all, Moses wanted to be on H3 to do The Bachelor. All right, so he was ready to expose everything about him on the podcast. And then he turns around and dates the most internet attention grabber that I've ever known in my entire
Now I turned myself
life.
to American Doll.
And now you are complaining.
What?
Oh, why are you talking about Moses? He's not a public figure. Then why did you put Moses on your Instagram account within a minute of hooking up with him? Because he's a private figure. So why do you need to tell everybody who's on your feed, because you have millions, why did you feel the need to tell everybody who you're dating? You can't be disingenuous now and say, how dare you, Ethan, talk about us? You guys now both are public figures.
The public
Whatever.
figure.
It's so fake, and that's why H3 is not what it was, because you guys are fake as fuck and cut things out.
Okay, you're.
And here it is again. She's attacking his business because she knows he don't like that.
You're like on a thing now. So.
I'm not. I just think it's so fake. It's so bullshit. It's like, oh, let's talk about
Hila asked not to be included, and I'm respecting her request.
Then I'm not talking about anything personal anymore.
Okay, then don't talk about anything. But you can't, Trisha. You have to. But I agree with you. Yeah, if you don't like how this goes and it's not working out, yeah, don't talk about anything. You don't owe Ethan your whole relationship on the show. Don't tell us what you're up to. Save it for your channel.
Okay.
I won't talk about Moses. I won't talk about me. Like, it's just whatever. Who cares?
Okay, now you're not going to talk about yourself. Okay, take the ball and go home. Fine.
Ah, not the clown.
Boring. Cut it. I haven't cut all of it. I literally couldn't care less. Let's just keep going.
Why are you so upset?
It's just so bullshit. You guys are such bullshit. You guys are so fake, and it's like actually annoying.
Why is it fake that Hila doesn't want?
Because you're like, don't get in the middle of it, but then it's also, I see that it's about me and that my name's brought up, and it's like, okay, if my name's being
It's
brought
not
up.
Really, Trisha, but how is it about you? Please, let us know more.
About you. It's between Hila and her brother. Why do you need to get involved in that dynamic? Just let them sort it out. How is that fake?
But now you're like, don't talk about Hila, even though we can talk about Moses, we can talk about everybody, we talk about.
No, she doesn't like that you, every episode we have the same conversation.
You brought up OF with my sister.
I've heard there's a video of you on fans of you wrestling your sister.
Not 5% by
topless with your mom in the referee.
First of all, we're not wrestling topless. We're in swimsuits. We're in like red swimsuits.
Why is that fans though? That seems kind of.
Yeah, because I think it's more like, well, for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
so, are you comfortable with people being off to you and your whole family? That seems odd.
Yeah. Why? I feel like that's a natural thing.
I still can't believe she said that. What is natural about that? I'm just trying to understand where she got that from. It's natural to masturbate to your family? I don't think so. I don't think anyone was doing that with like the Brady Bunch or the Cosbys or the French Prince of Bel-Airs, right? I don't think so. Or is that normal? Now I have things in my head I should not be thinking. Anyways, bye.
What do you want? You did OF with your sister. And he brought it up. I mean, if you don't want that to be discussed in public, why do it for the public? Why are we being shy now? It's just odd that she's upset that he brought it up.
We have the same conversation every episode. We
I
say,
even bring
Hila
up the
doesn't
family.
like me.
I even bring
Hila
up the
doesn't
family.
ever say hi
I
to
was
me.
like, hey, can we have her as a guest? And then you're like, cut all that, actually. She doesn't want to be talked about, period. Oh, okay, she's too good for this podcast. All right, cool. I don't give a fuck.
No, because I know she needs some time.
Okay, cool.
Away from all this.
Great.
And you go, I came in, you start off always by saying, I came in and Hila didn't greet me and she was super rude. And Hila's like, that's bullshit.
I totally didn't say that. When
You
did I
say that
say
about me
rude?
too. And she goes, that's bullshit. I'm always nice to her. I like her. The whole thing is stupid. And people are going to start, and
I never said she was rude to me ever.
Can we just take a second to look at her sweater, because I have never, I don't know why I'm just now noticing it, but the stars, girl.
Trisha is right. Let me know if I'm wrong, but in the previous episodes before 13, she made it a point to, even though she said it's awkward around the house and she doesn't like the vibes and things like that, she directed it towards Ethan. And she never at once said, Hila did not greet me properly. She was very careful with her wording because she knows how respected Hila is, and she knew not to start anything with Hila. So she kept it at Ethan, that he's not warm, he's not receptive when she first gets to the house. So he even says, oh, you said it about Hila, and then he switched it to, yeah, you said it about me. Yeah, I I agree. She said it about him, not Hila, but let me know.
You know what Trisha reminds me of? Okay, so I was just at the bar, right? And there was this woman, and I hate to bring up her race, but she was a white woman, blonde. Honestly, she kind of looked like a little bit of alcoholic. And the way she kept making everything about her was blowing my freaking mind. Like, to the point where I'm just like, wow, I can't imagine having that heightened of privilege to think that everyone around me is worried about what I'm doing. So here's an example. The bartender is asking, you know, what did they want to eat, whatever. And I guess she's been there a couple times. So she was like, well, you know what I want to eat. And he looked at her like, do you see how busy it is right now? Like, what do you freaking want? She was like, okay, so should I get the spaghetti or should I get the soup? What soup is it today? Tomato. Oh, okay, so should I get the soup or should I get the spaghetti? That is not the bartender's job. If you don't pick what you want and shut up, like, I couldn't even deal. Then there was a seat right next to me that was empty, right? And she was like, is anyone sitting here? I was like, no. She was like, can you hold this seat for me? I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I said, of course, being a good human being that I am, I said, of course, go ahead. Held it for her. She came back. Thank you so much. Da-da-da. Sat down, but not at the seat that I saved, but the seat that was next. She's like, oh, no one's sitting here? Okay, great. I'm sitting over here instead. Okay, fine. Then I guess she gets a text message or something. She's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Literally everyone turned around like, are you okay? She's like, I'm sorry. My friend's in town. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to startle you. My friend's in town. Like, Trisha gives me those vibes. It's like, no one cares. You know what I mean? And not like in a rude way, but it's just like, you don't even have the awareness to understand that it's not about you right now. Like, no one's worried about you right now. Like, at all. And then on top of that, for me, it doesn't make sense because it's like, if I'm gonna be dating somebody, right? Married, engaged, whatever you want to call it, I am going to put the value of how their family sees me at a very high standard. A very, very high standard. To the point where I will buy gifts for each individual within that family, right? So if it's Christmas, if it's something, birthdays, whatever, I'm gonna do the absolute most because I care about what that family thinks of me, because this is a family that I want to be into, right? I want to be with this family. We want to bring both families together. So I don't understand this animosity. Like, it's so weird to me because it's like, why would you even want to pick a fight? And it just seems like it's so much out of control. I don't know, y'all. Sometimes I feel like it's the environment, it's the circumstances of that person. Meaning, yeah, if you're raised in an environment where white people get everything, you know, and, you know, white blondes are the trophy wives, and you just have this privilege. I can see why you don't see how the rest of the world operates, right? So it's just very interesting to me. But man, when I tell you I ain't ever paid for my check so fast, I ran out of that restaurant so quick because I could not stand being around somebody that was just stopping everybody else's world for their little, no one cares, girl. Go home. Bye. Ooh.
You say she doesn't greet you nicely.
I've never said that about Hila, ever. I've said that about you. I've never said that about Hila. Find that on the tape. Like, I hate when you say that stuff.
She doesn't greet me nicely.
You always say it, and it's not true.
Episode and you never find it, and then you just glaze over it. You're like, you did say that. Show me where I said that in a video or anything. I never said that once about Hila.
Selective memory.
Bullshit. I hate when you put that shit in my mouth. Like, that's so stupid.
Yeah, true. It sucks when people say things that you said when you didn't. Yeah, because I agree with Trisha. I don't recall her saying Hila does not greet her properly or anything like that. This is the first time in the first episode where I heard her say that Hila doesn't like her. She's never mentioned stuff like that.
Who cares, though?
I feel like you always...
Who cares?
You just said it now. You talked about how she doesn't like you. And Hila's like, I like her. I don't want you to keep saying that.
Fucking tapes. I said have her as a guest on because people think she doesn't like me and that I don't like her, and that's not true, and that's why I think she should be on. And then you're like, cut that. We can't talk about her. Oh, okay, she's too fucking good for this podcast. Cool. Love that. Can we have Hila as a guest on our podcast?
No.
Why? Because people think like I hate her or she doesn't like me or something. Like, I feel like we need to have like... Because, like, you know what I mean? Like, I like Hila so much.
She could sit in, yeah. She could probably.
You see how that's just all about her? It's annoying. Like, well, people think that I don't like her, so I want her. Like, this is not about you. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like she kind of centers, and I think that is a form of BPD, is it not? Like centering things to you, right? Because I remember, what was it, a couple years ago? This girl with BPD, she didn't want me to come to her birthday party. But we were friends, but she didn't want me to go because she said that I take too much attention, that too many people like me, and she wants the attention on her for her birthday. Sorry, I don't know what to do.
You just said no, and now you're like,
just a snap judgment. She's busy. Don't talk about Hila. We're cutting this part out. She doesn't want to be talked about.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm serious. We have to cut this.
Look at her face.
That's fucking crazy. Like, what's even the point? She doesn't want to be talked about.
Because she doesn't like that you're always bringing her up and saying how she doesn't like you and all this shit, because it's not true, and she finds it annoying because she doesn't want people to start thinking that like she doesn't actually like you.
Well, she doesn't.
Well,
she doesn't.
Well, whatever. Just cut it out there. I'm serious.
Bitch, shit. Leave it. I don't care. Let it all out. Okay. I just keep on with this.
Tantrum.
I don't care. Like, I don't care, and that's why I'm not comfortable coming in this house because, like, I'm sorry.
I'm not sure how to respond because I feel like
you're
having like a.
Let's just move on then.
An issue.
Talk about it.
You're having like an issue.
Okay, let's move on. You want to move on?
Okay.
It's not like that. You guys can chat off the show.
Even though I'm on the fucking H3 podcast channel for you guys, getting you guys more views overall, more subscribers overall. You guys are getting 300,000 views this summer, so fuck off. Oh, but I'm too good. Don't talk about me, even though you're on my fucking channel.
So you are taking credit for the renaissance of the H3 podcast.
There we go.
Sure. You guys, of course, I saw it this summer. It was fucking tanking. But and I'm on this, and people are more subscribing. People will say I see it all the time. Not saying I'm the whatever, but people are like, oh, I came here because of Trish. Like I found it because of course I bring a new audience to this channel. So it's like, but I'm too good to be talked about, even though I'm on the fucking H3 podcast channel.
You're literally taking
like this
something way outrageous,
honestly, and then not in this house. Like I feel.
But Frenemies is separate from H3.
I don't know what to do because you're having like a moment.
I'm not. I'm like, honestly, we can just move on from it. But like, I just hate people who think they're just too fucking good for shit.
It's not.
That's you though. That's her. That's what she does.
When you have a podcast, you're talked about. Your life talked about. You guys talked about Moses and me.
Dude,
well before we did this podcast, you guys talked about us. Never once asked me anything.
No, it's because you always make the same comment about her.
Ask me one thing this summer.
You see that jump?
Right.
Her hair's pulled back. She already put the Vaseline on her lips. She is ready for a fight. Ethan did not flinch
at all.
Whoa.
Or when we started dating, you never. But you guys talked about.
I don't even know what you're on about.
Just all this
She
shit.
just doesn't want you.
She's too
not
good.
too good.
Don't fucking mention my name. Meanwhile, you guys can talk about whoever you want. You guys talked about me all spring without.
You can talk about whatever.
Why would they ask you if they could talk about you? That's kind of weird, though.
You want to. She just doesn't like that you always come on and make the same comment.
Podcast. She's not a fucking private figure. She has a podcast on this fucking
you guys are family. It's different.
No, fuck
You're with her brother.
It's weird that she doesn't see the difference when he brought up like it's family, so you want to be a little bit respectful.
Right.
But again, he did bring up certain things too about her in the first episode of Frenemies, and she understands because she has her mom and sister. Oh, she has a brother that she keeps very, very private, and she knows not to bring him up, in her later videos and stuff. She doesn't mention her brother anymore as much. I would consider him a private person. I've never seen Ethan really dig in deep to what her brother is up to. So yeah, there are boundaries.
I won't come back here. Like if you want me, I know you guys own that fucking building too, but like I'm not gonna come back in this house because I'm so over it.
You hear that already? She's telling them, I know you own a building, so I'm taking it as she's saying we are going to now meet in that building because she is not coming back to that house. You remember in the future what she says about that building, but we'll get to that eventually. But there it is. She said it here. I know you have that building, not coming back into this house, the building where they eventually moved their whole studio to, and now where they work from.
She has a fucking podcast. She's a public
What about
figure.
the pizza
You guys
surprise?
talk shit about us. Like I'm so fucking over it.
Dude, it's not like that.
But it is. You guys had free reign to talk about, especially me. You guys didn't even contact me. You guys were talking to Moses, but not me, and talked about me all spring. My relationship with Moses, all this stuff.
I believe that they did only because I remember they did 2 episodes. I think it was in April, right? right? They did 2 early episodes about it, and I figure maybe then is when Moses told him to stop talking about it, because I am not aware if they mentioned it ever again. I just know that the first 2 times they talked about it, but I didn't remember anything else. Let me know if I'm wrong.
Family issue.
Okay.
It's between Moses and Hila.
Yeah, okay, cool. Great.
Why don't you believe
And
that?
it was between me and Moses this spring, but you guys had to fucking chime in about, oh, I don't like it. That's what she said.
And
Hila
when Moses,
was like, I don't like it. I don't like it.
When Moses asked me not to talk about it, we stopped talking about it.
You guys didn't.
Yes, we did. After the time when we showed the text between
all this is gonna be cut. It's so pointless. I literally don't care. Cut it. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit about you guys. Like, I literally don't care. And Moses doesn't like you, and you guys don't like him, and that's cool. I'm happy.
You can't. That's stupid.
But it's true. It's so.
Well, that's fucked up. That's the kind of.
It is true, Trisha. I agree with you. It is true, but he's thinking now you're just, trying to cause problems, but you were speaking truth, which is what made it all the more hard to deal with, because even though you're speaking truth, and then Hila was probably trying to talk to Moses about it behind the scenes, and Moses is telling her, hey, no, it's not true, it's not true. That's me speculating, right? But we're going to see what Moses says behind the scenes, okay?
Shit you say that makes Hila mad, because you go, Moses doesn't like you. And so what you're doing is you're causing problems in their family.
That's not
and
true.
that's fucked up.
You told
and
Trisha
she doesn't
no
want anymore.
Excuses. It's like, who the fuck are you, bitch?
Say what?
Looks like she has a direct Hila quote. How did she
see? Like, okay, I don't understand how she could literally say, "Oh well, I want to talk to you because people think I don't like her," and then 5 minutes later you're like, "No, I don't care. F that B. Blah blah blah." I'm like, girl, so you really didn't like her then? What are you talking about?
She said, I read it. I saw it because I was on fucking TikTok.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't read his private fucking message.
When I'm on TikTok and there's a message that comes up and I see it, I'm not reading it. I see it.
Yeah,
and
no, you're reading his private messages with his sister. You shouldn't do that unless he shares it with you.
And he does.
Okay, so what did he say?
Oh yeah, let's get into
I want a French fry.
What did she say? You got permission.
So what did she say?
We're not even talking about it.
Wait. Why are we talking about it? All that built up, and now we're asking you directly, because Ethan speaks for we the people. What did Hila say in those text messages that are about you that made you so angry? I don't want to say. You know why she doesn't want to say? Because Hila isn't saying anything about Trisha in the text messages. At least nothing bad. The most I can see Hila saying is, why is Trisha saying that, which is what she said. That's all she's saying. Hila's saying. Hila is not talking badly about Trisha. And you know why I know? Because Trisha did not say anything. Because if Hila was calling Trisha out her name, Trisha would have said, oh yeah, why did Hila say this, this, and this about me? How dare she? I can't believe she said that about me. But she did it. All of a sudden.
I think it's a control thing with Trisha. Honestly, I think she just likes to know everything and be like in a control, like. And I mean, I kind of get that. Meaning, you have to kind of unlearn that if you've been taught that, whether that's through like parents, childhood traumas, like whatever have you. So it is something you have to unlearn. But at the same time, it's like, girl, how old is Trisha? Hey Google, how old is Trisha Paytas?
33 years old.
Oh, she's 33. Wow, that's like the year that I want to get married. Actually, is 33. Interesting.
She's as quiet as a mouse because Hila didn't say anything about her. And that's what I realized now watching this back a second time. But wait, there's more. There's more that comes up. There's more.
I mean, look, exactly. This is what she doesn't want.
But when my name is being brought up, I'm not going to fucking
She's not talking about you. She's having a conversation with her brother.
All right, cool. Let's move on.
And that's why Hila had no reason to call Trisha. Here's my thinking. Trisha mentioned before that she sees Moses' texts and what they're seeing in the family. So I'm sure Hila probably said to Moses, hey, you know what? I just want to make sure I'm talking to you. And I can picture, this is me. It's a speculation, okay? You guys, I know I don't know them. I'm just speculating. Just ride with me. I can see Hila saying, okay, Moses, I want to talk to you, but, I want us to talk, have between us. And Moses saying, no, I'm reading the messages. I make sure Trisha doesn't read my messages, my personal family messages. So yeah, I can see at 1 a.m, Hila texting her brother, trying to have a private conversation, and Trisha reading these messages. And this is what makes me look at this whole argument another way. When last year I was 100% on Trisha's side, and now I see what's really going on here. Trisha has all the information. Hila does not. Trisha knows the private messaging going on. So she knows Hila is upset with what's going on. So when she saw the first couple of episodes and the part where she mentions the mother not being invited to the wedding and she noticed that it's cut out, she's saying now, like, how come you guys didn't tell me it was cut out? And I was with her like, yeah, it was kind of embarrassing. You guys should have told her, had a conversation with her beforehand than to just cut it and not tell her. But I feel like Trisha knows because she's reading the messages, so she was continuing to pick at that part about not being invited to the wedding. And here's the thing. She'd pick at it, and Ethan would kind of allow it because it doesn't really bother Ethan because it's not Ethan's mom, it's Ethan's mother-in-law,
right.
And it's Ethan's wife's family.
Right.
So even if it irked him, it's not going to irk him the same amount as it would irk Hila.
Correct.
So Trisha wouldn't bring it up, but Trisha in bringing it up, she knew she wasn't hurting Ethan, but she knew she was hurting Hila because she could read those messages, and she could read the family group chat, and Moses would translate what was going on. See, that's what they were doing. I know it's dumb, but I'm just realizing it. They were, that makes so much sense. They were communicating in Hebrew because they're from Israel. So Hila thought she could get away with texting Moses because it's in another language, and she figured that Trisha wouldn't know because Trisha cannot read their language. Meanwhile, Trisha is getting it translated from Moses. She could have copied and pasted on Google, but I want to more speculate that Moses is translating for her because Moses knows she could copy and paste on Google. That's what happened. Since Trisha knows everything, has all the information.
The toxicity. What the heck? And to think a marriage came out of this. Child. Hey, like I said before, Trisha Paytas can get married. Damn it, anybody can. That's all I have to say.
Doesn't? Trisha was the one to go to Hila or pick up the phone and call Hila and say, Hila, we need to talk this out because this is what I'm reading, so we need to sort this all out right now. It's not for Hila to call you because Hila doesn't know that you know that what she's writing. No, I was wrong. Hila should not have called you. You should have called Hila because you're the one with the problem with Hila. Hila's problem is not with you. Hila's problem is with Moses. That's why she's not bothering you because it has nothing to do with you. It has to do with Moses. You have a problem with Hila because maybe you see your name in the text even though she's not saying anything bad about you. But it's for you now because you saw a private message to call Hila and say, you know what, let's sort this out because I don't like seeing my name. How is Hila supposed to call you when she doesn't know that you're mad at her? You're supposed to call Hila because you know that you're mad at her. So Trisha, you were wrong for that in this case. And it took me a while, but I finally saw it. I still think you were right in episode 5, though. Don't at me.
Don't at me. I'm dead.
You don't eat the pizza?
We can finish this episode, but like I'm just like
Every time I hear pizza and Trisha,
yeah, I can't wait.
not
That's
good.
fantastic. I'm still excited for the pizza. Can we move past this?
I'm gonna have a kid. I'm not gonna have nannies. That's for damn sure.
What does that mean?
Right. What the heck does that mean? Wait, you're not gonna let them like girl. You're not gonna let them babysit your kids? Is that what that means? My thing is how the self-awareness, the delusion of that woman is really, really interesting. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. And honestly, it's kind of sad to me, you guys. It's kind of sad to me that she married this man. Like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. It ain't my life. It ain't my life. It ain't your life. It is what it is. But man, I don't feel like this is a good foundation. Like, and if they have a child, you guys, if they have a child, I'm actually going to be kind of scared because I feel like when you have a child out of love, like that's the way you should have a child, right? But when you have a child out of like ego, pride, spite, bitterness, like that is just, it is so detrimental to that child. It is so detrimental to that child. And I feel like I can definitely contest for that because I was told all the time that I was a burden. I was only born for this reason. yada, yada, yada. You have fulfilled your purpose, yada, yada, yada. I mean, child, it's kind of crazy the kind of things that parents will tell their kids and not even realize. Like, do you know how absolutely damaging that is to somebody? But at the same time, you guys, it is what it is, you know. We all go through things, right? And if anything, for me, I take it all as a lesson. I really do. I do my best to just take it as a lesson and keep on pushing. But that is why I am very selective of who I keep around, who I talk to, because I literally do not trust people. Like, I want to, but it's just like, how can you do that when the people that brought you into this world, you couldn't even trust them? So it's like, how am I supposed to trust you? Like, you know what I mean? It's a revolving door. It's a cycle. But hey, we will get through it. Actually, speaking of that, I will be doing hypotherapy. I'm kind of scared. Like, is it hypo or hypno? No, hypnotherapist. Hypnotherapy. There you go. That's what I'm going to be doing. And I don't really know how that's going to go, but I will definitely update you guys because, listen, we are getting rid of all of this trauma, all of these energies or whatever that are in me that do not serve a better purpose. We are getting rid of them. And if you have that too, please do your due diligence to try to get rid of it as well, because have I really messed up my life. Like, I just really feel like I've messed up my life. You may not think that, but I really do feel like a lot of the trauma I went through really screwed me for life. And now there's really nothing I can do about it. I just have to live with it. And it really, really, really sucks. But we'll get into that in another year, because honestly, we're not talking about that now. Maybe after I hit 100K, maybe when I'm a bigger channel. But for now, it's just not really something that the public needs to know. But I know at some point it will be a very great learning point for a lot of people in this world. Anyways, I love you guys so much. I'm going to go ahead and go take off my makeup. I'm sure you're wondering, you know, why didn't you take your makeup off? And no, somebody had to see my face today because I just got ready for no reason today. Child. Oh, let me go to bed so I can stop hating humans. Anyways, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. Closing my laptop. This Trisha Paytas. Oof.
Pulling out the coupe in the lot, 12 for a squat, busting all the bells out the box, hit the leap with the box.